I'm back with Clark as well. So we got Club Dub here for Broncos country. Denver Broncos will be the number one seed going into the playoffs. That's exciting, isn't it, Broncos fans? Oh, can't wait for that Rocky Mountain Thunder to be going loud at Mile High all game long for the divisional round, and hopefully they can continue that on to the AFC Championship. So let's go Broncos. All right, for those of you who haven't heard of me, my name is Alex. I am a big-time Colorado sports fan. I support all the four major sports, the Denver Broncos, the Denver Nuggets, the Colorado Avalanche, and the Colorado Rockies. So you'll be seeing me do breakdowns all season long. So I'm now across all platforms. Started out on TikTok. Now we're going to move over to Facebook, Instagram, definitely YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow, do all the things. I will be engaging with all of you guys as much as I can. So please keep an eye out for me during the rest of the season, as well throughout the season of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver Nuggets, Denver Broncos. Congratulations first off to the Denver Broncos on a 14-3 season. They exceeded my expectations. I had them predicted in May when the schedule release came out. I did a live TikTok stream saying that they would go as high as 13-4 barring no injuries. If they did have some injuries, I think they would go as low as 10-7. Obviously that did not happen. They are not a wild card team. They are the one seed at 14-3. I did not think that would be happening back then, but man, they've exceeded my expectations. And yes, that defense is legit. That defense is something else. So you might be seeing another close games, lots of more close games here coming up, guys. It's going to be hopefully nail biting and hopefully very exciting for all of us here in Denver. The Broncos started out with a good defensive stop in the first quarter. They get the ball back. They drive 81 yards down the field. They kick a field goal. They took about 8 minutes off the clock. It was a great start to a drive, but you always want to cap that off with a touchdown. I think they will in the postseason. They just don't want to show the Chargers anything, especially since they probably could play them in the divisional round if the Chargers do win against the Patriots. They are the 7 seed going into New England next weekend. So get on the board 3-0 and then immediately coming back down. The Broncos pick off Trey Lance. Jaquan McMillan runs it back for the first defensive touchdown of the season for the Broncos. Glad it came at all, but we at least got one this season. So the Broncos go up 10-0. Then we go through a series of punts till the second quarter where the Chargers drive down and kick a field goal. Had Riley Moss caught that almost pick, they would have been off the board. They would have been probably shut out for the entire game had Riley Moss get that pick, but he just dropped it. It was right within that grasp. He just barely missed it. Should have had it, but it was not to be. So we go into halftime at 10-3. Then we come out and punt, and then so does the Chargers, and then the Broncos finally get on the board again, making a field goal 13-3. And I wondered if that was going to be the same score as the other one seed game, because that's how Seattle won their game 13-3 against the San Francisco 49ers. So I was like, well, we've already got that down, so maybe we'll just stay at 13-3. Not to be, so at least the Broncos did get some more points on the board. It won't be till later in the fourth quarter after a series of punts by both teams, and you get a strip sack fumble by Nick Bonito. He had a great game. That strip sack set up the Broncos up for another field goal, going up 16-3 and pretty much coasting into victory. By the end of it, they do get one more field goal. Broncos do keep him out of the end zone, not for lack of trying. The Chargers did try to put some more points on the board, but it was not to be. The Broncos do keep them out of the end zone, winning 19-3. Great job by the Denver Broncos getting the 1 seed. They did what they needed to do, got the win. Yes, you only scored field goals on offense, but you still won, and that's all it takes, and you're not showing that team anything, hopefully, for the playoffs moving forward. The Broncos' first defensive touchdown, at least they got a pick, unlike the Jets this season. The Jets still didn't get an interception this season, so they are the first team since 1933 to not get an interception throughout this whole season. That's terrible considering they had Sauce Gardner for half the season, but he went 1-7 with them. And then when he was traded to the Colts, he also went 1-8. So that, he just wasn't meant for winning. He was probably the player that had the least amount of wins he'd seen all season long, especially since the Raiders won today and beat the Chiefs. All right, so Denver Bronco injuries. We had Garrett Bowles go out, but he did return. Forsythe went out and he did return. So that was good to see that 2 of your offensive linemen are coming back into the lineup after they had been come out with injuries, an ankle injury, and I think some kind of leg injury for Forsythe. They did return, so that was good to see. So far in the playoffs, the Broncos have the 1 seed. You're going to have the New England Patriots hosting the Los Angeles Chargers next week in the 2-7 game. So the 3-6 game is going to be Jacksonville will host the Buffalo Bills, and then the winner of the AFC North, which we still don't know at this point in time. It's getting probably close to the end of the game at the time of recording here, but you're going to have the Steelers or the Ravens hosting the Houston Texans. So the 4th seed will either be the Ravens or the Steelers. They are playing right now. It is halftime from what I can see at the time of recording. It is 10-7. Ravens are winning. So the Ravens are probably going to end up hosting if they hold on to that win. If not, we might have a Steelers win. So we just don't know yet. Going over in the NFC, the Seattle Seahawks took care of business on Saturday night. They beat the San Francisco 49ers 13-3. They will be the 1 seed with the bye along with the Broncos. This is kind of seeming like 2013 all over again. I hope not, because that was the year the Broncos lost the Super Bowl, and I would like them to win the Super Bowl this year. Then we're going to the 2 seed and the 7 seed. That game is going to be the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers, an NFC North matchup yet again. And then going over to the 3 seed and the 6 seed, you're going to have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the San Francisco 49ers in the 3 versus 6 game. And then going over to the 4 and 5 seed, the Carolina Panthers, who played earlier yesterday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, had to wait for the oddest game to see who was going to go to the playoffs. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers actually beat the Carolina Panthers, and Carolina is going to the playoffs. Make that make sense. That team should not be hosting, especially since Tampa Bay had also only won 2 out of their last 3 out of their last 10 games or something ridiculous. They shouldn't even have been in that situation, but they had to wait for the Falcons to win today for the Carolina Panthers to be in the playoffs. So they are in the playoffs thanks to the game that happened earlier today, the Saints versus the Falcons, and the Falcons got the win. Unbelievable. So that's it for the playoff matchups for next week. We'll go over prediction videos later this week, but I'm guessing that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see how wrong I am at the end of next week, but we'll hopefully, maybe I'll be right on some. Who knows? But who would you like to play in the next week after the bye for the Denver Broncos? Who do you guys want to see in the divisional round of the playoffs here in Denver, Colorado, in the Mile High City? Give me a like, comment, subscribe, follow for more of this information. I appreciate all you guys. If you guys want to see the Sleepy Clark, we're going to be here the rest of the season.